So this was the original video I intended to make. Not the rant that was recently posted, but you can certainly go ahead and check it out. You know, I was told it was breaking news to me. I was no longer legit in sneakers because I no longer buy Jordans the way that I used to. And that, you know, someone let me know that, hey, they didn't know about me, but they were willing to spend their last on a pair of Jordans. We are in such a dark place financially. Like that's what we're seeing. Still speechless as you can see. But yeah, you can check that rant out. So the original video I intended to make, part of it, actually, I touched on it a little bit at the tail end of that video based on a comment I saw. It wasn't a comment on one of my videos, but it was a comment I saw, and it was really just, it was truly showing the influence that's around us, especially within sneakers. I'm not saying it's not present in any other area of collectibles or hobbies, because I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. But, you know, their original poster, to me, they were being responsible, accountable, and self-aware in understanding their financial situation. I don't know their situation, but they knew enough to know that, yes, they wanted the fire red fives. They wanted the fives. But they understood they just weren't in a position to buy them responsibly at that moment. Like I'm sure many of you have said this before. I ain't got it. I ain't got it. Now, that could mean a few things. It could mean you saying, like, I ain't got it because you have other priorities that, you know, are a bigger deal. So whatever someone is, you know, stating, like, oh, like trying to encourage you to pay, you're just like, no, like, listen, I got it because I have other things on my plate that are a bigger priority. And that's, I think, where a lot of us sit. That's like the camp a lot of us are in. If we say we ain't got it, it's not that we don't have money in savings. It's not that we don't have assets in terms of investments and things, or even things that we could sell. But for what you're asking us to have it for, it's just not a priority right then. It's kind of like when someone says, I have, just for an example, right? If they say that they have $20,000 in their savings account, but they have only $2,000 in their checking, they're going to tell you quite possibly, I have $2,000. Because the money that is in their savings account is not even something they look at as like spending money. It's not to be touched. It's for real emergencies. A sneaker is not an emergency. Let me repeat that again. A sneaker is not an emergency. And I might get attacked for that in my comment section, so please act your age, not your shoe size. No, this is not the end of the video. But it's not an emergency. So that's the one camp that some of us could be in. The other camp could be saying you just ain't got it because you really just might not have it. And that is also the current state of this country right now for so many people. And I know it feels dystopian because we have, you know, creators every single day and they are buying pair after pair after pair after pair. You may see 20 sneakers on their channel in a singular month. So it may not even register to you. Your brain has completely compartmentalized the fact that, like, yes, you're seeing this creator have 20 different pairs on their channel in the month, but then also unemployment is like higher than it's been in I don't know how long. People are going 9 months, a year and more without a full-time job in their field. Credit card delinquencies are up. Matter of fact, a friend sent a link to me about the fact that there's a lot of subprime debt on the books of quite a few banks, and they're kind of panicking just a tad bit because the delinquencies on subprime car notes are going up. Oh, this feels like we've been here before. Oh, that's right, 2008 with subprime mortgages. History just repeats itself, doesn't it? Because we don't learn lessons. There's a lot of moral hazard that also occurred in 2008 with the big bailout. But some people just don't have it because they just don't have it. They are strapped. They don't earn enough. Not that they're not working hard. They just don't earn enough. So just to meet the bare minimum expenses of what they have to pay for on a daily basis, they're barely doing that. Barely getting by. There is no disposable income for them. They are terrified if a tire goes out on their car. They're terrified if they have to go to the doctor. That is the reality of millions of Americans. So for you to be able to indulge in sneakers that you don't need, yes, it's a privilege. We can acknowledge that. It's a privilege. These are first world problems. When you can't get a sneaker, when Sneakers app doesn't give you a W, you lose on all the raffles, you don't hit on EQL, you get on one of these boutique sites that is clearly botted from jump. That's a first world problem. You're not struggling to put food on the table if you're chasing a Jordan. You shouldn't be struggling to put food on the table if you're chasing a Jordan, because at $200 minimum plus tax, you should be able to go get groceries. So I would hope that that's not the position you're in. But also, this individual let me know that, hey, you could just spend your last. You could overdraft. This is what happens when we didn't leave children behind. So you could be in that camp. There are going to be so many influences around you in your actual personal life, certainly online. Internal and external. You're going to be dealing with some influences because there's going to be that little kid deep inside that's influencing you to just buy the shoe. Buy the shoe because we couldn't get it when we were younger. Buy the shoe because mom and dad said no. Mind you, mom and dad may have said no because they didn't have it. Because they needed to keep the roof over your head and the food on the table. So they didn't have it. Maybe when that pair first dropped when you were younger, your parents didn't have it. Not that they didn't want to give you something that you wanted, because every parent wants to see their child smile. They just didn't have it. They were trying to make sure everything else was good for you. So it could be the little kid inside of you saying, just do it. Wow. Just do it and just get the shoe, right? Regardless of the circumstances. And then you come online, you come on social, you come on YouTube, because this is the place. This is the community where all of us share a passion for sneakers, except some of us are going to police, I guess, how we're really into sneakers. But they're just going to tell you, just throw in a credit card. Just let the 20+% interest rack up on the card. Do the buy now, pay later. We've talked about that. You need to break a sneaker up into 4, you don't need to buy it. That's just my personal opinion. You do whatever you want to do. Be destitute out on the street because someone's going to get mad that I said I personally would tell you don't buy the sneaker if you need to pay in 4. I would personally say if you came to me as a friend, I would say maybe think twice, 3 times. Don't do it. Don't do it. Or they're like, hey, you get a payday loan. That is a loan shark. That is a loan shark. We're almost in spooky season. Do you remember the movie The Collector? Where the guy, Oren, I think is his name, maybe, is trying to, Owen Oren something, is trying to get money, right? For girlfriend, baby mama, not even sure, because she owes a loan shark money. Yeah, they come collect. And they break ankles and kneecaps, okay? Maybe let's not, like, don't go to a loan shark. And a payday loan is just a legitimate loan shark. And it is crazy that they're allowed to operate legally in this country. Please, if you take nothing else away, please don't do that. Don't do that. There are going to be so many different influences. There are going to be people that try to influence you, even if you've chosen to step away from sneakers to a certain extent. Doesn't mean you don't love them the same. Doesn't mean you still don't appreciate them. I do. But there may be other things that I am very much so interested in buying or experiencing or just doing. And I had the opportunity to do that. So like I'll go ahead real fast. You guys can see just the recent items that I got in real fast. Yes, the WNBA playoffs, it's on. It's began the chase for the ring. Now, I'm a Las Vegas Aces fan, but I rep pretty much almost every team in the WNBA, as you can see here with a Seattle Storm tee. This was an arena exclusive tee, so you can't get it anywhere online. You have to actually go to the arena team store. I loved the puff print design for this shirt. I don't know, there's just something about puff print. So this is actually a medium. It is quite oversized, which I appreciate. I don't normally rock the Oxford shirt under an oversized tee, but I figured why not? Let's step outside of my comfort zone just a little bit. I actually really like the look. Threw on some New Balance twill pants and then my Coach loafers, which you guys saw in a recent YouTube short here on the channel, and then another tee. So this I just love the graphic of the tee. Now it's actually a large, so I wanted the oversized fit, so it's a large. It does fit like that oversized medium you just saw. And then this was another recent pickup. These
Adidas pants. They were on sale. So they're actually a men's pair. I'll try to link them in the comment or in the description box. I don't think they're on sale anymore because they were actually cheaper than both of the t-shirts, because I believe they were listed for like $33, maybe $34. But just a nice, very relaxed fit. The black pants. Now they actually do have a gray stripe design on the bottom. I'll be sure to throw that on screen really quick just so you guys can see, because they're not all the way black. They do have a single striped design on the left leg. It's not on the right leg, it's only on the left leg. But you guys are going to see a side by side here of the looks, just to, you know, to give you an idea of how they are next to each other. So being able to just rep your team in your own individual style is what it's all about. I will incorporate the Oxford under the oversized tee a little bit more. Same with the loafers. I am still on the hunt for a chunky pair of loafers, just as an FYI. And then the San Diego Wave items I picked up. So this is the bucket hat. Picked this up in the team store, although they did have pop-ups all over the arena and Snapdragon Stadium. If you've never been, really great arena. So pair the bucket hat with a boxy fit Hollister tee and my custom Levi's Nike jacket that I made some years ago. I just took different Nike patches and things, and I had a seamstress attach them to a very old distressed Levi's trucker jacket. It's one of my favorites. I love the fit of it. And then the women's Jordan brand cargo pants. They are baggy, oversized. The magenta looks so well with the wave colors. And then I'm wearing the Nike Air Max 1 London because it has that wavy aesthetic on it. And my Alex Morgan hoodie. So I was on the fence about this, but I love the hoodie. I wanted to commemorate being in the arena, being present for once live for such a big moment in sports and one of my favorite athletes of all time. So the hoodie, now this is actually a large. I'm getting more large size hoodies for Nike because maybe it's just me, but like the medium is just fitting smaller and smaller these days. So this is the large. I also got the Sandy 13 GOAT hoodie, or Sand 13 GOAT hoodie, aka Alex Morgan being the GOAT 1-3. You get it. So these pants, again, I think it coordinates so well with the actual San Diego Wave colors. I kept the same Air Max 1 on because I think both fits go really, really well. They're both relaxed, both super comfortable, a little bit oversized for both. But yeah, please go ahead, share your thoughts on all four looks.
I'm excited to enjoy these items, add them to the closet, whether it's just to wear whenever, support the team. You guys know, love the WNBA. I'm so glad that the playoffs are starting. And then you have Athletes Unlimited, you have Unrivaled, you have women's college basketball. There's a lot. And the passion that I have for buying sneakers, quite frankly, it probably just did shift over to me just enjoying more of the other things that I already enjoy. And I stand firm in that influence. I do. Even when my favorite players, okay, are dropping pair after pair after pair, I set a goal for myself, and I'm trying to hold to that goal. I'm sure I could have broken down and let any and everything influence me to have gone far past buying only 6 pairs in 2025. I'm sure I could have. I'm making the conscientious choice to hopefully not do that. Yours not done, but I'm trying to hold to that, which means I'm being really slow in my last 2 decisions. But you're going to be influenced by so much in this space. Be smart, be accountable, be self-aware, and take a step back if you need to, quite frankly. Because none of these people online, as your parents would say, one of your little friends online, they're not gonna foot the bill. If your lights are about to get cut off, they're not gonna foot that bill. They're just not. The times that we're in, like the social experiment that it feels like. I need psychology students studying this. I really do. I'm sure they already are, though. They already are. That's what you learn about when you're in psychology, right? You do learn about human behavior and what influences that, internal, external. I just find it very fascinating. So this was the video I guess I intended to make. I still didn't think it would be that long. I've just been in a ranting mood thanks to the comments that I saw. So if you guys have enjoyed it, please go ahead, just comment, share your thoughts below. I've had friends that have said, like, hey, even if their own like separate group chats, they're just like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make the decision to not start off this month buying X, Y, and Z. That's just me. If anybody else wants to do it, hey, I stand with you. Sometimes you need friends like that, okay? You do. Sometimes you need friends like that to say it's okay to have a seat. I'm choosing to have like quite a few seats as we head into fall. And, be very intentional about what I'm going to spend money on, things I'm still getting rid of, okay? So, the upcoming video, I do intend to go over, like, what fall essentials do I even have, share my thoughts about, the new things that we're seeing from Jerry, the things I think that are really good, maybe the things that I think, I don't know if that's going to work. Nonetheless, I always appreciate you tuning in. As always, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.